Biao heaved inwardly, initially inclined to anger, but upon second thought, she held her tongue. She turned to the wall, scanning a few lines, feeling dizzy after just a few sentences. She couldn't help but admire Zhang Xiaofan. He could actually read through such dry text. Yet, when she looked back at him, she was surprised to see him filled with pain and confusion, trembling slightly, with an inexplicable strangeness about him. In fact, for anyone else in the world, there would be no way they could feel as deeply shaken as Zhang Xiaofan was at that moment. The Tianshu, the so-called classic of the demonic cult, these lines, known as the summary, seemed to him like knives piercing into his heart. It was even more impactful than when he was a child, discovering that the Taoist cultivation methods of Qingyun and the Buddhist great wisdom practice given to him by Puz were completely opposite. From these words, his face grew paler because he discovered a great secret in this so-called demonic cult classic, the Tianshu. Within the various extraordinary and extreme methods of the demonic cult, an inexplicable annoyance huffed lightly, but Zhang Xiaofan seemed oblivious to any noise. With a tight-lipped smile, Biao turned and left the room, her footsteps heavy as she walked out. She couldn't help feeling angry, but for some reason, she didn't want to take action against him. She stomped away, leaving forcefully, but that foolish guy still didn't react at all. Biao walked out of the stone room, returning to the stalactite cave, feeling irritated as she looked at the skeleton. Originally, it wasn't a big deal, but seeing that guy made her more and more displeased. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became, and when she saw her heartbreak flower turn completely black, her anger shifted to the old man with the black heart. Pointing at the skeleton, she angrily exclaimed, "You old ghost, even after 800 years of death, you still harm people, making my jade flower ... making it ... She couldn't finish her sentence, her anger growing stronger, but she didn't say anything more. With a wave of her sleeve, the heartbreak flower flew out and circled around the skeleton. After a moment, a piercing sound of bones cracking rang out, and the skeleton collapsed into pieces. After taking action, Bia's anger subsided a bit, and she couldn't help but feel some regret in her heart. She didn't know where her anger came from, but when she looked up, she was surprised to see a few lines of text on the wall that were obscured by the skeleton just now. She hurried over to take a closer look, and saw 4 lines of text on the wall. Bell rings, flowers wither, figures grow thin, temples frosty, deep love, lifelong pain. Foolish love only brings endless torment.